So here we go. All right, so let me go to here, and here's what I did. I did negative 0.01, parenthesis, open parenthesis, 45, right? Because that's what our x value was. And it's squared. And then I'm going to add to that 0.9, open parenthesis, 45, close parenthesis. So there's the whole formula with 45 in it, right? And that should be 20.25. Let me see what you did.
Just look at your history. We're at the same thing.
I'll see what you did. This should be a negative number. Yeah, because if you do, think about it, if you do 40.5, it's that's why it looks that way. So next time, just do the whole thing in there. Okay? Thank you. Preguntas, questions? All right, I'm going to move on then. Let's go back to how. No, how. Okay, our objective today for any quadratic function in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c, the values of a, b, and c provide key information for you. What does a tell me? What does it tell me? If there's a stretch or compression.
Yeah.
However, if a is positive, what do I know about my parabola? It's positive, so it's smiling. That's how I remember, guys. So if you want to do that, that's cool too. If it's positive, it's happy, right? It's smiling. No. If a is negative, then it's going to be frowning. It's going to be sad. I really do that in my head. Okay?
Alright.
So we'll talk about those things real quick, okay? So our objective, please understand how A, B, and C affect my parabola. What does C do? What does C do? Yeah, it shifts it up or down. Now we're not calling it K, but it's still that same number, isn't it? It's that constant number that's taking the whole thing is moving up or down. Moving it up or down.
Okay.
Okay?
Wait, C it is?
Yeah, C is the B, the
Why
K.
is it?
It's that constant number that's taking all the values of X and just adding a little something to them. Today's date is 9/26.
Wait, so what's B at?
Alright, thank you.
Alrighty?
What's B at?
We'll get to that.
No, I haven't seen that.
Okay. Oh, what? We're just going to skip a couple things. Okay, so let me do this. First thing, when you look at this formula and it's in this form, the first thing you want to decide is this thing going to be facing up or is it going to be facing down? Simple enough? Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to take a look. I'm going to look at the A value. Is it plus or minus? Right? If it's a positive, then we're happy. If it's a negative, then we're sad. Okay? We're okay with that? Yes? No? Maybe so? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're getting
Let me get my notes here real quick. Bum, 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 bum. Holy smokes, we're on chapter 4? That's all.
I didn't understand 4.1. The homework was so hard.
The transformations?
Yeah.
Left, right,
Last
up,
night,
down?
it wasn't just left, right, up, down. It was like the equations and stuff.
I
Alright.
didn't get it either.
So we'll do some stuff right now, okay?
'Cause I don't think that we covered like the equation part of it in like those questions we didn't do.
It was like the second half, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
I
like
didn't
the
get that.
entire second half, and I was just like, well, I guess I'm not doing it.
I know.
'Cause I even
Okay.
tried the question.
So now that we know the shape of this thing, remember the first problem we did? The easiest way to find that maximum point was to find where the middle is, right? That is called the axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry. It's called the axis of symmetry. And I'm going to give you an equation to write down or to memorize. And I think most people already know a lot of this. Okay? Actually, let's do this real quick. Where are my Velago people at? Okay. So you guys should know this then. You guys need to sing with me. X equals opposite b.
plus or minus square root b squared minus
Mr. Althoff
4ac
is sad right now.
all over 2a.
I
I
know
know,
that's
I know.
what
You
I
have
have.
Althoff?
I was so tired.
So does everyone remember the quadratic equation?
No.
No? Okay, then don't worry about it. Here's what I want you to do. In order to find, thank you. No, habla. In order to find the line that goes right to the middle, it's going to be an equation. And the equation is negative b divided by 2a. Negative b divided by 2a. That is your axis of symmetry. And then we'll talk about that in the quadratic form. Okay? Anybody ever see this formula before?
Nah.
Cool.
This requires writing. Can't do all this in my head. Cry.
I got paper if you want some.
I will find for now.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
Hey, did anybody find?
I remember.
Thank you. This is my second metal pencil that's gone missing.
Metal pencil?
Yeah, remember my nice pencil?
Yeah.
My second one's gone missing now. If you guys see it,
I don't even
or see
remember
someone
you
with
had
it,
a
let me know.
pencil.
What's a metal test?
It's my Graph Gear 1000 from Pentec.
When you a teacher?
No.
Brother, when is your first
I'll give you a high five. Why, you got my pencil? Okay. Thank you. So here's what we know so far. If A is positive, it's going to be smiling, correct?
Alright.
Right?
Wait. Oh, wait, no.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You should already know this, right? Now here's what I do know. If I want to find that line that goes right through the middle, what's it called? The axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry is going to be at negative b divided by 2a. Now let me ask you this question. The vertex. You guys remember what the vertex is of a parabola?
The lowest point or the highest
The
point?
lowest point or the highest
Yeah,
point?
the maximum or the minimum.
If I asked you for the vertex, where do you think the vertex has to be based off what I've drawn?
On the y-axis.
Yeah, Romo, that's absolutely right. It's got to be on this line somewhere, huh?
Yeah.
And a lot of people can say, hey, you know what? It's right there, isn't it?
The
Okay.
lowest point.
So that means that if I know the x value, I can find the y, right? By plugging it back into the function. Well, this is also the x. On top of it being the axis of symmetry, it's the x value where this is at. So to find the y value, I'm going to take negative b over 2a, and I'm going to plug it in to the function. So you're going to see something like this for the vertex. That makes no sense right now, probably, but I'm explaining to you what it's going to look like once we do a problem, okay? So shoot, you might want to write that down.
Wait, so what do I do?
I'm just showing you the way the book is going to show you, but all you're doing is taking this axis of symmetry, that becomes the x for the vertex, plug that x into the formula, and it's going to spit out a y value.
Wait, okay, so vertex is the lowest point on the axis.
Well, it could also be the highest point if the parabola is upside down, right?
Alright.
Remember, the vertex is the highest or the lowest point.
That's what the minimum and maximum is. So when actually the minimum and maximum is the vertex.
And this is 3, the vertex. Now, number 4. Number 4 is pretty simple. This is the y-intercept. The y-intercept. The y-intercept will always be at 0, c. 0, c.
And then C is.
It's just that number that's in by itself. It doesn't have an X on it.
Are you talking about
On the formula. So when you go see the formula,
on the y-intercept?
yeah, see this?
Yeah.
It's just a number by itself, there's no X on it.
Alright.
That's the constant value, and it's a 0, comma C.
I know, I just had this grade of assault with my car. Literally just this class. This class, I had to get up from a D
You gotta get up and what?
Oh, I have a D in your class, and my dad's not very happy about that, so he's not letting me get my car until I get it up to a C.
Nice.
You have a D in this class?
Yes, I have a D in this class.
I have an F in this class, that makes you feel any better.
It actually
Oh,
helps.
I do?
you do?
Yeah.
No way.
Go check, I have an F in this class.
Oh, but that's because you're missing a test.
Yeah, I have.
That's because you're missing a test.
And
You
every
scored
single
too
one
on
of
your
my
test to have
And every single one of my
No.
No, actually, he's missing 2 tests, I think.
No, what?
This is just one?
It was just the chapter 2.
Oh,
What?
Round my rate 2%.
Alright. So here is, oh, Kamate.
She said,
I know, I saw that.
These are the
So,
questions that were
Daisha,
last night. Yeah, that was, these were the questions that were on the homework last night that I had no idea how to do.
here's, so we'll go back and we'll look at the other ones the first way, okay? Here's what I want you to know from these. We can create a sketch from this alone, okay? It's gonna go like this. First thing I already know that it's gonna face up, correct? So it's gonna face up, but if I wanna sketch it, I gotta know where that axis of symmetry is, correct? So here, do this. Please put your pencils down. I hate for you guys to miss what I'm doing. Put the pencils down and just watch it. do like Najera. I know that the axis of symmetry is going to be at opposite B over 2A, correct? What's my B value? 8. Yeah, they always go A, B, C. And this is 2, correct? That means that my axis of symmetry, let's see here, this is negative 8 over 4. My axis of symmetry is at negative 2. Okay? Show me thumbs up if you got that. Thumbs down if you're not. Okay, so that means
Where'd you get that bottom 2 from? The first one? 2A.
the formula is
2A, huh?
negative b over 2a. So that's where this 2 came from. The parentheses came from those. So that means that over here at negative 2, I'm going to start by drawing my axis of symmetry. Okay? Now here's what I already know. I already know that it's going to do something like this, correct? But I just don't know like where the other piece is, correct?
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do. So that funky thing that we're looking at down here at the bottom, right here, is like, well, what is this? That's what we're going to find right now. We have the x value for the vertex. What is the x value for the vertex? What's the x value for the vertex, people?
2.
Negative 2. Where did it come from?
Right there.
From our axis of symmetry. So here's, if I have an x and I want the y, how do I get the y? How do I get the y? I'll plug it back in.
For X.
Yeah, we already have x.
So then
So
you
you
plug
plug
it in.
so you plug it in for X, right?
Yeah.
Y.
Exactly. So what's negative 2 squared?
Ah, shit.
Watch your words, please.
Negative 4.
That's 4, right? No, because negative makes.
Times
So that's 4. 4 times this 2, 8. So I've got 8. I'm going to make a little note. Right up there. What's 4 times negative 2? Negative 16. And then I've got a minus 2, right? So when I combine all of those, what am I going to get?
How'd you get 16 from that 8?
8 times negative 2. Remember, x is negative 2, right?
Oh, sorry.
So that's negative 16. And then I got a minus 2. What does that put me at total? Negative 10. So that means that down here at negative 10, I know where to put my vertex at now. So that point has to do something like, is that close enough?
Yeah, that's good.
There you go.
I thought it was C.
No. Now,
Oh, wait, okay.
Now.
Wasn't it 0 C?
what is at 0, 0c? Is it my vertex? No, it's the y-intercept, right? So let's do this. So that means that the y-intercept, I can see it. Can you see it? The y-intercept is right there. And I know this isn't to scale because I'm sketching it, right? So the question is, where is it crossing at? It's at -2 because it's 0 comma c. So technically, that should be -2 right there. And obviously you can see that it's not to scale, but that's where all those numbers are coming from. And that's it. We've got ourselves a nice little sketch there.
Can I write?
No, you're not allowed to.
I hope you fail your test.
JK, smiley face, LOL.
J.K. Rowling.
Can I see?
The author.
How many points do you need to graph a parabola? Is it only 2 on there?
Yeah,
Then, boom, there they are. Vertex and y-intercept. We is good to
How
go.
do you know the y-intercept?
Huh?
C.
Yeah, it's over there. It's at -2.
Oh.
Where's the intercept at? 0 comma
Yeah.
c. And c happens to be -2.
Yeah.
Wait, so what do you need? The y-intercept and what was the other one?
The vertex and the y-intercept.
The vertex is a coordinate, right?
Yes.
And
That's why it's.
y-intercept is so 2 separate coordinates.
Yeah. What's the coordinates of the y-intercept?
0 is -2.
0 comma -2.
Pretty easy, pretty easy.
This is so difficult. What's that? Can you go for me too? I'm just kidding.
She was
I
like,
wish, man. I'd be like, here, take my bladder. It's a little old, but
That's a little
empty out my bladder for me. Who? Confused? Where?
So I have a soda can.
ew.
Look at the A. That's A, right?
Okay.
Is it positive or is it negative? Positive. So it has to do this. If it was negative, that'd be 3, 7. That's it.
No, wait. Where is
Thank you. I can't hear this question. Go ahead, one more time.
the points that it's at? I don't get how.
That's okay. Here. So, everyone got this? Because now it's gone. So, the question, it's kind of, here, let me try to make a better picture, okay? I'm really going to try to work harder on this, man. So, let me grab my, and if you already have it, or you think you have it, then this is just confirmation for you, right? So, I'm going to sketch this right here. First thing that I know, so that I'm not surprised, is that my parabola has to be facing up, okay? Now, that's just a little side note in my head. If this thing ends up facing down, I'm like, something's not right. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to go after is the axis of symmetry, the AOS. And that happens when x is equal to -b divided by 2a. Now, do you understand how to go ABC, right? Okay. So now if you don't, then I suggest that you make a note for yourself. Because I, as some people in here, I always forget that. Freaking negative, man. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go 2, 8, 2. Cool? So I've got -b divided by 2a. b is how much? 8. I got it from over there. How much is a? A is 2. So here I have -8 divided by 4. That means that x is equal to -2. Okay? So right here at -2,
Is your new y.
that's the axis of symmetry. That means, let's see if I can do this in one swoop. Okay? That means that this parabola is on here somewhere. Ah! It could be up there, here, I don't know where. I'm going to just leave it here for now, okay? I need to figure out what y value to give it. What is the x value? I need to give it a y value. So, I know that the x is a -2. To get the y value,
Plug it in.
I have to plug it back into the equation because then it'll tell me if I know x, it will give me a y.
Isn't it the same ball?
It's exactly the same but different.
He's just going over.
Yeah, I'm just going a little bit slower for her. And for the people that want to confirm. No, it's okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
Okay, continue.
Thank you. Thank you for forgiving me. So we're good so far, right? So once we plug it back in, do I need to show you the math or you're good? Okay, so once we do that, what did we get out, guys? Negative 10? We got negative 10 for the y. That means that this point, this vertex, needs to go all the way down here to negative 10. Okay? Now, this is not sketched correctly, so I'm going to erase this.
Wait.
This is not sketched correctly. All I know is that the vertex is there, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, the way the arms were, we don't know. Okay? So in order to get it a little bit better, and this goes for everybody, I should go back and give me a second point, which is the y-intercept. Not the y-axis, the y-intercept. And the y-intercept is that the coordinate 0, comma, c. Well, that's 0, comma, what is c?
Negative 2.
Oh, I didn't even put negative 2 over there. That's see?
Negative
I always forget. You've got to be careful here. So that means that 0, negative 2 is another point. Now, if I were you, I would take advantage of the symmetry. You see how there's a point 2 units away from the axis?
Yeah.
That means that there should be another point over here, shouldn't there? And then,
Okay. Oh wait. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh okay.
we're good?
Yeah.
That's not bad. I could do that. Right? I wish that I could do. I'm going to try something. Where's my magic marker at?
I don't know, I ran into her so many times, like every time that's about, she's in and out of the phone. What are you gonna do? Like, oh, yes. She's like, yeah, I know, I'm just.
Oh!
I am now. I almost fell asleep thumb. You missed.
By a lot.
By a lot.
A little bit.
Let me try that again. I want to try that again. I know I can make this look good.
You're not gonna make it look good.
Yeah, says you. ¡Booyah! ¡Qué pasión! ¡Qué pasión!
You missed.
¡Qué pasión! No, I hit the blue point. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. While we're on this problem, I want to talk about a few things because it's going to probably be a lesson. I think it's tomorrow's lesson or Monday's lesson. Do you guys see how if I go with these legs, there's some points right here where it crosses the x-axis? If this is the y-intercept, what do you guys think these are called? X-intercepts. And then we're going to learn how to find those as well. Because the more points we have, the more accurate it becomes, right?
Yep.
So, any questions on what I've done so far? Ryan?
I have a question.
Pregúntame.
So there's only going to be one y-intercept and then two x-intercepts? Because no matter what.
Let me repeat this question, okay?
Across the line. Unless it's like on 0, 0, then it's not going to test it.
So let me repeat this for everybody, and everyone wants to listen very carefully. The question was, is this always going to have one y-intercept and two x-intercepts? Well, let me tell you this rule, okay? For any polynomial, actually, let me take that back. For any function, you will only have one y-intercept. Any function will only have one y-intercept. So if you get more than one y-intercept, it's not a function. I mean, think about that, right? If I had more than one y-intercept,
It's going to be a squiggly.
that's what I want. That's not what I wanted to do. Here's what I want to do. If I had more than one y-intercept, that means I would have something like this, right? And based off the definition of a function, can an x have more than one y? No. So if I have two y-intercepts, then I've broken the rule, and this is no longer a function.
Right? Y have more than one x.
Yes, like that's okay, but the x is gonna have more than one y. Okay. Now,
Isn't that like x?
now let me talk about the x-intercepts, and that's gonna be a lesson itself as well. When you look at the degree of the polynomial, the degree will tell you the maximum number of x-intercepts that you can have. So if it's quadratic, then you can have maximum of 2. Doesn't mean you can have less. Doesn't mean you can't have less. It just means that you can have
Yeah, because you can have 0.
Okay? If it's a third degree, then you can have probably 3 intercepts, fourth degree, 4 intercepts, and so forth, so forth. But that's going to be a lesson for later. Not right now. Here we have this new formula. I want you to go and find me the x-intercept. I want you to find me the vertex and the y-intercept because that's what we need to graph this, okay? So go ahead, guys. I ran out of green tea.
-1. -1.
one squared is positive one, right? Negative times negative. Mr. Rios? Negative one squared is positive one, right? Since it's a negative.
Negative 1 squared is positive.
Okay, that's
No.
Yes, you're correct.
Okay, I did it in my head. I want to know something.
What you got, home price? He's nice. Good job, good. Machan. Machan. That's my name.
I'm about to run the auto cycle or something. I'm gonna run this shit straight out of class.
You wrote on me.
I didn't even.
I think it's a round.
Hey, don't play 52 card.
Wait, okay, so then.
Don't play
Bitch, can't play count.
No, I would not do that. I promise you did not want to play 50. I promise you did not want to play 50.
If you play, you can't.
Oh, everyone make room.
I bet you can't beat it.
I would not play
You can't beat it.
I promise you it'll be the worst mistake. I promise you it'll be the worst mistake. There's 52.
Promo! She's already gonna do it.
She already did it.
She's like, let's do it.
They already did it.
And then you say, pick it up. All 52.
Pay attention to the lecture.
That's a mistake you make once.
I made that
I
mistake.
was like, I wanted to like fucking trick and I was really slow about it
Hey,
too.
we got card counter over here. This
Wait,
is the
okay,
airport
so-
symmetry.
I just told him to stop reading. I think I had that. Negative
Oh, I
one.
know.
He goes out to count hard.
52 card pickup.
Well, I know when I turn 21, you want to take it to the
All right, so question. Thank you. Which is gracious. I don't have my. Oh yes, I do. I got my dojo. Dojo. Let's see here. Who question goes to?
Welcome to math.
Please don't pick me. Please don't pick me. Okay, question goes to. Oh, yes, you are, Kaylina. Question goes to you. What's the first thing I want to do?
Ooh, can I do it? It's happy face.
What's the first thing I want to
It's
do?
happy
Put
face.
it in the white.
I want to first decide whether it's going to be
Happy face or smile?
happy face or sad face.
Happy face.
And in this case, it's
Happy face.
happy, happy, happy. Next thing that I want to do. What do I need to find next?
Axis of symmetry.
Look at you. I don't even need this. Jaylene with it. What do I need to find next? How?
Negative B over 2A.
Beautiful. Negative B over 2A. What is my B?
2.
What is my A? 1. So I've got negative 2 over 2, which means at negative 1, right? So I'm going to take my broken line here. There's my axis of symmetry. Next thing that I want to find. Question goes to Francisco. Yeah, you're going to plug this into the X so that you can get your Y value. So negative 1 squared is a 1. 2 times negative 1 is a negative 2 plus a 3. So that's 3, 4. 4 take away 2 is? 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 take away 2 is? 2. There we go. So that means that my vertex is right here. That's right here. You can kind of already see that.
Wait.
Positive, not negative.
JK. Darn negative. That's already 2, huh? That I did with my darn negative?
Three.
Okay. So what's my y-intercept? Is at 0, comma 3. So 1, 2, 3. And there's a point there. There should be one right here on the other side. Now here's a perfect example for Najeda's question. If it's quadratic, is it always going to have 2 intercepts? In this case, how many intercepts do we have for x? There are 0 x intercepts.
Maximum
Okay?
is 2 since it's x squared.
Right. And we'll also learn about how to figure that out later on. Not right now. Good job, yo. Okay. What's half of 4? 2. Now square it. 4. What's half of 10? Square it.
25.
What's half of
6.
3. 9.
square? That's pretty good.
12.
4. 16. 1, 6. Whoa, wait.
What's half of 2/3?
1/3.
1/3. Yeah, because you got to multiply by a half, right? You want half of that? So that's 2 over 6, which simplifies to 1/3. So what's 1/3 squared?
Yeah, let's see that.
1 what?
I thought it'd be
Someone said it.
1 9, right?
1/9.
I thought it'd be 9.
Yeah, because you're going to square both, right? 1 squared is 1, and then 3 squared is 9.
Wait, so you really just have to do the bottom, huh?
For this one, yeah. For this one, yeah. So, are you guys okay with taking half of something?
Yeah.
You just multiply by half, right? And then to square it, you put it in your calculator and push that square
I'm
button?
not good with fractions.
We can do that?
No.
Okay. No? Well, we're going to have to. I want to show you something. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Do you guys remember yesterday we were doing the where we had it in the vertex form, where we had h and k and all that good stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I've got x squared plus 2x equals -3. Do I want to do that? No, I don't. I don't want to do that. Here's what I want to do. Y equals x squared plus 2x plus 3. Thank you. I really need you to put your pencils down, and I really need your attention here. Okay? So, you guys okay with what I did? I put in x squared 2x, and then I just kind of kicked that 3 over there to the side somewhere, right? I'm going to tell you why in a minute. But everyone okay with what I just did? Okay. I'm going to do this. I'm going to convert this into a binomial. Okay? Hold on. So, the first thing I want you to do, because this is x squared, now we're going to go x with square outside. Still the same thing, right? X times x is x squared. Now check this out. What's half of 2? 1? Square it for me, please. 1. Okay? Do you see this now? If I were to take x plus 1 times x plus 1, I would get this.
Why would you complicate?
Well, I'll tell you in a minute why. Was it complicated, for starters?
No.
Taking half of this was 1, and then I squared it, and it's still just 1, right? I do need to caution you real quick. Was this red 1 there before? It wasn't, right? So I added it. How can I balance this again so it's still equal? If I added 1, what can I do? Yeah, it's a simple idea. So you subtract 1. So what's 3 take away 1? It's 2, right? So now, I've taken that formula, and what's it look like? The ones we did last time, remember on Tuesday?
Yeah, that's it.
With it H and K?
What's it called? Quadratic.
Oh yeah, now it's in the HK form, isn't it? That's called vertex form. And where's my vertex at? The opposite of this. It's at H comma K, right? Negative 1 comma 2. What was it the other time? Same thing.
Can you find the y-intercept?
So can we use like the formula from this one? Yesterday.
Okay, but would the y-intercept be 2 or would it still be 3 since it's like...
Hold on. Let's wait for everyone to quiet down. Go ahead and answer your question.
I said, would the y-intercept be 2 or would it be plus 3 since you got 2 different problems?
No. The y-intercept is 3.
3?
So let's talk about some pros and some cons here, okay? You need to be able to do this process. What I did over there is a process called completing the square. And the hardest part of that is halving, squaring, and then getting rid of what you just added to the problem. What's nice about this form over here is that I can look at it and know where the vertex is, right? It's H comma K. What's H in this case? It's not 1, remember? It's the opposite of that. So it's negative 1 comma 2. It's not as obvious, is it, from the standard form up there? I can't look at that and say, oh, this is the vertex. So I have to go through this process of finding the axis of symmetry, plugging back in, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. What I'm telling you is that you need to know how to find the vertex. It doesn't matter really to me which method you pick. Okay? And you have to be able to find the, you just called it, I forgot the word already. Why did I forget the word? Y-intercept. Okay? Questions on that?
Try to use both problems to find...
Nope. You could do the whole thing using this second method I showed you today. The one that we did today. Or I can go through this process called completing the square to do the other part.
Since technically, when we were doing plus 2 equals the y-intercept.
No, it wouldn't.
Oh, no,
Because this, once you remember when you factor it out, you got this extra 1 there. Okay, so if I did this, let me show you this real quick. If I took this, I would get x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus the 2 that's already there. What's my y-intercept? Okay, you gotta be careful with it.